Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Could just be a flash burn from him here at Care as well.
Getting that charged up with that Q and Care. Gonna have to burn the flash early. Shadow coming over. The Exhaust Impact gonna get flash out of Cream as well. Kanavi now looking for damage out to Shadow. Shadow overextended. The spear. It's not gonna be enough. The shield was there, but now though is the Dragon is not gonna take priority because Kanavi has gone top. Gets the flash. Gets the knockback from 369. But Sheer is still Mbessa. The spear. Is it gonna be enough? One more hit. 369 is going to commit. 369 gets it. The turret ramp is not enough, and Top Esports will get first blood. I know JDG has no stake in this game whatsoever, but it's so funny to see the longevity of things where 369 obviously swapping between Top Esports and JDG so many times, but Sheer and Flandre kind of that next iteration after he came back to Top Esports. And then here we are now, both not on JDG and on different teams facing each other here in the main stage of Split 2. We do get that trade in the end. It's funny how it ends out, though, because it's Top Esports that get the Dragon and FPX who get the first 3 grubs.
The priority was on them and the objective that they wanted to choose. I think that there is a case to be made that the second grub fight could be a little bit stronger here for Top Esports. I think that
are they just
playing
forcing
2 lanes versus 3? But they have 3 grubs.
Oh, it's 4v2. Oh, bullet time on top, too. Public execution under turret, but the turret is starting to ramp. Look at this. The Impale coming through. 369. They're going to get the 1 trade back, and now Crisp is up here, too. Needs to be careful, though. Get back to the turret. Does not have the Glacial Fissure just yet. And honestly, it's a
play doesn't pay off for FPX. Feel like that was a bit forced. Love the stun that Kanavi had, too, on the Shadow, just to make sure that he was eating those tower shots that were heating up.
What? What is happening on my screen right now? Oh my god.
Well, Chris threw a skill shot one way and Jouet walked the other.
With Thunder Sky becomes an absolute menace, and you can see there is no focus to this side of the map. Even if they brought their bot lane up here by FPX, they're going to reset, they're going to go off, and it's going to be a trade of 3-3.
And the great part about this timer, too, is that you can actually go fight for the Drake if they're in time.
Oh, no. Oh, there's 2 things happening right now. Okay, Awesome is going to potentially just die outright. Instant Captain Jax, the piercing arrow flashed out of it. He's out of there. Pretty far along on getting everybody first items there. As Dragon's going to be started up by them. Could be the second Dragon for Top Esports. Looks like that will just be the case. We are getting that readaptation of lanes here coming into the 12-minute mark where we have a lot of presence from Awesome in mid lane.
Yeah, no, I mean, that presence kind of getting over because Top Esports on the Dragon. Uh-oh, I see it.
Oh, no. They don't have anything. He has no flash, no cleanse. He is down. Kanavi taking the pickings.
Oh, we'll be honest about that one. Yeah, we'll be honest about that one. But I think that once this Nashor Siege comes through for Cream, that's when the front line really is going to start to melt. We have a skirmish. Kanavi.
Oh, the hell. No, it's the spear. One pokey object is going to get them one way or another. And the next one that comes in is a staff from Mr. Cream himself. 5-1 early. Care going to try to pick out the mid laner Top East. But now he overextended himself. He's going to have to flash or spirit rush or maybe both to get away from this setup. He is between 2 towers and maybe between 2 deaths. Insta stun. Spirit rush doesn't matter. And you still fall to King Kanavi.
At built-in Hail Blades there with the empowered W, insta-proc the winner's bite, and things are just going to go from bad to worse here. Okay, trade of flashes. Nice retaliation there from Sheer as he around this, and Kanavi continues to be the jungler that is on fire this split, and he's not going to continue to make plays. Crisp.
Yeah, he's going to be able to find this out. Dredge line might not save you this time around, Jouet. He's just going to try to find time, but it's not enough, and he gets taken down by one weapon. The jungle will be for both teams' leniences on how they win games. And I think Kanavi is showing that next level up against Shadow.
I mean, every play Kanavi's taken has just been fire this game.
Yeah.
There really is nothing else to say, whereas Shadow, I mean, the play he took top side was a 1-for-1. It's not what FPX wanted. The attempted play bot forced the flash, too, but then the retaliation of the back half of this fight. Oh, hold on.
Oh, Impale into the bullet time. Kanavi's about to go down. Has the shield back up. Jackula barriers nothing but still survive. Cream with a 3-man big Emperor's Divide. And you look Everyone from FPX is gone except for Care, and everyone from Top Esports is still alive.
Looks like the Phoenix is falling in game 1. Going to be about if you get a revive in game 2 is... Oh, they actually got the charge. Really well done there by Top Esports. They're starting to style a little bit. You can see Shadow in the player cam is actually kind of having a chuckle. I think FPX, they realize that this game is pretty doomed. Yeah,
not only in the placements, but also here in the main stage. And now Care in a 1v1 against 369. Going to dodge out of the shock blast. Oh, Cream! He's just gone. Grand Starfall in from Kanavi, but he's in a 1v3. And now TP's coming in. We're going to get the rebuttal already, though. Dway is gone. Now 369 hitting a big 3-man shock blast there. Top Esports, they bit off a little bit more than they could chew, but they still try to swallow it down.
Yeah, Cream was flashless. I'm going to assume he got caught.
Oh, Shadow gets Jackie Love, and Jackie Love just steps in there and dies. Top Esports fumbling the bag a little bit here. Still almost 10,000 gold up, but they're having fun with it.
Yeah, I don't think this impacts the game, but hey, props to FPX. Cream was too far
Look
up
at
in
Shadow.
the side lane. Shadow had a really nice pick there on the Jacula.
They do indeed.
Yeah, public execution. Yep.
Oh my God,
Dang.
they used everything.
They hated Cream.
They literally hated him.
They really hated Cream.
Very lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
They need lactate.
That was a big spear from Kanavi too. Looking at the back half of this fight, Jacula did opt for the Edge of Night, so that depth charge didn't end up connecting, but good find here by Shadow, who did a nice job of tucking himself into that brush and gets a bonus kill in the back half. Quite nice. And for me, this is where Top Esports has been really solid as a team. It has been these objective setups. That is Azir turret coming down, going to guarantee both mid and bot prio, and Chris, oh, they're looking hard.
Oh, he dodges out of the impale during this Grand Starfall, and Care gets hit by the shock blast. That's a big bullet time, but 369 is on your back line. He's swinging hammer, and he's swinging other things too. Cream trying to get the pick on Awesome. He's not going to get him. It's going to be the take from Crisp. The fade away Winter's Bite. I know you know something about that coming. They're going straight for the throat and straight for the win.
Yeah, this was an A+ game to pick from, and Chris played it well along with the rest of the team. Kanavi MVP unquestionably in this one as Top Esports cruised to a pre-Baron spawn game 1 victory.
Shortest game of the section so far of this split. It is a 23-minute and 20-something second win by Top Esports over FP.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
In the LPL, obviously getting one of the championships, the World Championships for this region. And now Sheer gonna say hello to Kanavi and 369 early. Guess nothing else is gonna happen with it. There you go. That's the dub that we're looking for. But it's so insane. Kanavi going for some early pathing here on the Shadow. Gonna get spotted out, and I don't know if you want to take those early skirmishes. Gonna try to at least take a couple of the wolves. Maybe go for the smite. Oh, it actually goes to Wave Shadow, so he's gonna get the advantage there. Not the damage advantage though. Kanavi has that trading pattern going on the Shadow. Maybe looking for a little bit more. Won't find anything else.
So might just be relegated to taking that lower crab and seeing what he can find elsewhere as Jackie Love and Chris hit 3 early, and they're fighting aggressively.
They are. Jackie Love taking some heavy trades, but Dway gonna have to flash out. Auto attack from Jackie Love. The turret's gonna come through. The Foss Bomb gets one back, maybe two. The flash is there. The auto, a double kill for Awesome.
I honestly really like the play from Jackie Love, but again, Shadow couldn't walk bot because of the prio from the Ezreal and the Alistar. And so Shadow is relegated to pretty much nothing here. It's just Cream. Be a nice trap.
The ultimate bait. Dway actually with a massive shattering strikes right there, stopping Crisp in the tracks.
But look at Kanavi again. He has the able to actually get in here. Has the help of Crisp, and we're just gonna have a skirmish over the Raptors. Kanavi should keep the fights going here. Has the level advantage on the Nidalee, and this is where Nidalee really thrives. I think if Care is here to join the fight, they do have to be careful. But Jackie will be rotating over. Will be spotted out by Jouet, and that's just going to be the cap given over to Kanavi as it does reset. Actually get Shadow back in, but...
Is he going to smite it? Oh, they just go for the all-in onto Shadow. Shadow with the explosive charge and the kitty claws from Kanavi. Say that a couple more times because Top Esports are just forcing FPX. This is the ultimate, I know I'm better than you. Chris was talked to recently. Okay, well, maybe we'll get a fight on onto Sheer here. Kanavi going to make his face shown into Sheer's lane. There's the unstoppable onslaught to get the double knockup. Going to be knocked up right back. He's very tanky boy already, even just having that Cinder. And up, and this is the first spawn of Grub, so it would be a 3. It's really fitting when you listen to Chris talk in the last interview, and a lot of praise, obviously, or like talks and conversation about facing your old organization, the team that you got a world championship on. But his statement kind of rang true in the fact that it's been so long. It's the roster's not the same. He doesn't feel like there's any kind of connection there, and that's really telling to kind of the legacy of the LPL and what we've seen over the last couple of years.
I can't blame him, right? It's not like he's playing with any of his, or against any of the old teammates where they won Worlds, right?
They're not swapping plays, but at least him taking the spot of Mako. Now Kanavi going to try to contest over Shadow, who was potentially starting up the first dragon. This is a level 6 diff right now, and Shadow just taking the brunt of it and just goes down to Cream. Now Cream gets the reset here, doesn't have the explosive charge, but has massive damage onto Care.
It's everywhere here on the Rift, sadly.
I just feel like Kanavi is so out for blood right now. Just in the entirety. Oh god, Care's gonna die. He's hello friend. He gets the flash out. Oh, the fate sealed. Oh, the combo. Cream still kills him. Is gonna get the Lilty Lullaby in the end, and Shadow will clean up that kill. It is a nice little shutdown there. Meanwhile, 1v1 in top side. Unstoppable onslaught's gonna be there, dodging out of the spear from Kanavi. And that's Crisp supportal combat.
On the bright side, he didn't give a kill over to Awesome. So hindsight, Harry says this is okay.
Self on business, and he's just calm, cool, and collected, like it doesn't even matter. Like these people don't have families, like they don't have friends, like nobody's gonna know about this, but they all know that top esports is different.
I'm not well, that's not really a barbecue, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah, it is.
That is my favorite thing to grill, for sure.
Okay.
I used to grill a lot when I was back in Columbus.
I guess I'm talking about grilling versus
come home from work in the summer, crack open that grill, and maybe a cold one. Nothing better.
All right, well, they're looking at a little bit of a fight here in mid. Not going to crack open the cold one just yet. These Rocks definitely can put a little bit of presence around this Grub fight. Okay, Cream is just going to die. Sheer's going to 100% him. No, will end up getting the bag up, but that means he took 3/4 of his health. Yeah, now Kanavi is in the Grub fight.
Good angle for top esports.
Okay, Joy just doesn't get to exist, I guess. That's so unfortunate. Jackie Love! Oh, Jackie Love goes down to Awesome. Fate sealed. He ended up over the wall there, I guess, on the other side of Kanavi. Kanavi's still in the pit. Awkward. Care didn't finish him off. There's been some wonky stuff happening with walls recently here in the LPL. And Shadow's going to get bounced around, not going to get hit by the spear, but is going to eventually fall, trying to get Kanavi back, but doesn't do so. It will be 5-1.
From top esports, but no, only 5-1 stuff.
Yeah. Well, they're finding a pick on the Sheer, as they will end up getting a little bit of gold there. And Dragon has been, I believe,
here for FPX, and Cream going to take care of business here. See, looks like he's going to get this pre-14. That's a nice gold injection, taking the plate and the first turret, and will secure feats for top esports.
This guy grills. You think he knows that burgers are made out of him?
In honor, Chick-fil-A now is entering the League of Legends universe.
I can't wait. It's gonna be like the Xbox that can heat up KFC chicken. Oh no! Joy, he's by himself a little bit. Here comes the follow through from Awesome. Top esports just get out. Yep, they tried though, and that's that's pretty far down in there. Oh, okay. So FPX gonna try to be a little proactive here. And top esports going to be coming around the bend, though. Maybe looking for a pincer with Cream coming down from the top side. TP's going to be there, as well as now maybe getting pincered themselves around. They got the TP up. 369 has a massive angle. The Rift Herald is going to go down. Okay, it goes to Kanavi of all people. Shadow going to have to sing his sweet lullaby from the grave as Jackie Love puts him in that ground. Kanavi's going to finally go down to Care, and they are picks across the table. When I came into this day talking to you, I said that FPX sometimes looks like chickens with their heads cut off, and I think that we got the representation.
Like, if you had a grilling animation in there, that's pretty close. He's got a furnace in the train. Well, you have a big power play up for 2.5 minutes, but the Rose is giving the XP and increasing the power of the Drakes that you've already secured. A little bit more impactful throughout the game.
He's got a 5-level lead.
Oh my god.
God! God!
That was through Aftershock.
This at the end of this year will be my 5th year covering the LPL holistically, and this might be one of the beatdowns of all time that I've ever watched.
Top Esports really pissed off after first day. That's all.
Right?
Throughout this.
Bring up the meme again, Kelsey. We don't need to see the gameplay. Let's just talk about the meme.
Their Huya ratings are still like being tanked by the fans because they're so mad about the first 10 performance. But Top Esports taking that to heart, and they're really doing everything. What feed on the Rifts? Doing everything they can to
from
perform.
them. But BLG is looking like a returned beast here, and we have to see what they can do to end up in that top 4 placement to make it automatically into the playoffs for Top Esports. But here comes an attempt from FPX. Sheer, you're too young to drive, buddy. Get out of that car. Top Esports now. Get the rebuttal. Get the double knock-up. Lilting Lullaby will be sweet nothings for FPX as they will lose their tier 2 tower and topside. Care is just going to try to get an all-in. Okay. He's going to not even get a single one. And Sheer and Shadow have to watch as their base crumbles.
I respect seeing the Care have the Dion Waiters / the Shy mentality of if you didn't keep on dying, then you lost the mentality to keep on playing the game. But that ult from Sheer might have been a little bit unwarranted. That again, FPX, I will say, a few less smiles on the player cams this game compared to the last, which I can't blame them for. Getting beat down like this 2 games in a row is tough, but yeah, this game is... This has been a advantage of the space creation of the Ornn. Also starting to see... Care is like the only one that's an adult in any of these conversations for FPX. He's the only one that like has anything to say. Dway is going to go down to Kanavi. Awesome is also going to go down to Kanavi. That's a double kill. Maybe look for more. Just go ahead and see how many you can rack up. Unfortunately, Sheer's pretty tanky, and Nidalee not known to be able to take down tanks, but maybe going to try to do so anyways. Enough cat scratches onto a post will end up taking it down. Not going to find any more cat scratches there in Shadows, just playing mind games with Top Esports. Sion, you lost space to go. And
they're laughing. They're just having a good time.
Yeah, look at that smile.
Sheer and Kanavi and 369. Legends of JDG fandom.
Okay, Care.
Oh, okay. Nice flash from Scream's going to get him out of there.
Care is the try-hard in solo queue, you know?
I told you. Oh, my
Oh,
God. Oh, Lilting Lullaby coming out there. I don't think he's going to be able to get away.
Hey, plus 923. Care's got a smile on his face. On the map. They haven't seen it yet because they haven't been able to get that far up on the map, but they saw it. It's in the game.
It's in the game. Oh.
Oh, that was a nice play from Care, actually. He's going to find a good ult, too. This is well played. I know we're having a little bit of fun with this game, too. That was well played from Care.
Yeah, and there's a reason why they've consistently, like, literally rebuilt this team almost 3 times around this guy Care, because he is that crucial developmental piece that FPX has been trying to work around. Was the court key, but I still did like that initial kind of 3 picks that they had to start it off.
Cream utilizing that extended range from Tristana to get some bonus range with a passive. Yeah, it's not just Caitlyn or Jinx that can do that. Tristana can too. I feel like canonically, Lumberjack Sion has to grill the live. Like, how else is going to use all the wood that he cuts?
True. That's
so
the canon lore that we
Sion
needed.
skin, I would like that.
I need him to just be like covered in sausages. Like he's just a butcher or something. And speaking of being butchered, I think FPX are about to learn the hard way that Top Esports is here for one thing and one thing only, and that is dominance in Split 2 to make up for the transgressions at first stand and to try to continue their streak in the LPL 2025. They were champions in Split 1 for a reason, and they will absolutely down smash onto FPX and take a 2-0 sweep.
That was only Sheer with...
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Play to see how these teams are going to be looking coming into the mid to late game. Right now, they're already going to start with a little bit of poke going on. Both junglers going to run into each other. Shy and Flanger already doing a lot of damage to each other as well. We've got a fight on multiple fronts here.
Tarzan ramped up on the Conqueror stacks, and because Shanks is a range champion level 1, just using that priority to try and force JJ off of these Raptors here. One more Q, the smite goes over to Tarzan, but is not level 2 yet, but Flandra was putting the beatdown on the Shy as Tarzan forces the flash out of JJ. Rookie answers back and gets one on the Shanks with both flashes traded, and in the end, it is a scrap in the chicken pit.
It really is. I wasn't expecting these teams to actually go all in the end, but they do. And like you said, it is going to be a ton. Spend that gold. It's going to be a lot easier to play out. But Rookie getting that early kill, exactly what you want on a Yone. Oh, this is the issue.
The Shy took Electrocute in this matchup. Oh, just one more range auto attack. There it is, and just escapes the turret range to not give. It is very difficult for Yone to operate this unless the Tristana does not play well. KL gets the cleanse out of Gala, immediately able to Arcane Shift out of there. But so far, decent pushing lanes on a majority of these setups here for anyone's.
JJ potentially looking for a gank right here onto Shanks.
JJ doesn't have flash, can't close the distance, and Shanks being able to get a full explosive charge means that he still had a rocket jump
through
ready
this
to
early game, and hope that they can get this composition into the mid to late game, because once you get there, the Lilia can do so much, the Tristana can do so much, so can the Varus. The thing is though, this top lane matchup really can't. Not when there's a Sejuani potentially lurking in the wings. The CC combo between these two is just insane. You can see everybody is in the area for these grubs. JJ probably looking to just steal one away, jump over the wall. Has to flash out. Wow, that's not ideal.
Yeah, this is the power of the Lilia, especially when she already has an advantage over something like a Sejuani. Force the flash away. Could try and go back over with a Q, but that would be certain death, and JJ is not going to risk it. First 3 grubs of the game.
And with the Tristana, getting as many of these grubs as possible early on is going to leave these towers incredibly vulnerable to just getting chunked down immediately. Mako takes big damage, isn't going to die here, but still going to have to go back to base. Oh,
the Chain of Corruption sting by level 6. Here comes Tarzan trying to anticipate the flash by Mako. Just goes in with a Q flash of his own. Lilting Lullaby gives a dosage of NyQuil to both Gala and Mako, and both of them. And while we had some criticisms about the draft choices, hang on. More action in the mid lane. Flandra could be in trouble. Public Execution doesn't give him the range that he really wanted to use to escape. But meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, KL somehow got a kill on
the AL. But it's just been constant damage right here. This is the play we didn't end up seeing. Oh, he just takes Joanie Alistair combo. The second that they get on top of you, if you are single target, if you don't have friends around, it's
full time. This is a normal The Shy experience that we just witnessed. As JJ now trying to go for a quick little Gromp steal. Mako is going to be trying to escort his Boar Rider out to safety. And because The Shy is looming on the topside river here, so far, anyone's legend, because of the first ones here, it doesn't seem like IG really are set in a position to contest once again. Leandri's rush already completed for Tarzan, just off the strength of the early counter jungling he was able to get.
You have to go here.
A couple of the kills in early. JJ has flash this time around, is able to at least risk and go for one growth steal, but now he turns it because he's got Rook in his back pocket. But Keeper's verdict from KL. But wait a minute, Rookie's able to snap back with the soul unbound, but that might have been ill-timed because Shanks now has an opportunity to hop, skip, jump, and Kuma stomp all over Rookie.
Oh, no!
He pushed him away!
Shanks, no!
He pushed him away! Hope is able to pick it up and give him a reset, but it's not enough for Shanks to escape. The rest of IG being able to collapse.
About a lot, you know, we were speaking about how we wanted Hope to be able to step up more. That was a good look at the very beginnings.
Mako's got to be careful. He might have just awoken a very angry deer who is now putting the lilting lullaby onto JJ, and the rest of anyone's legend trying to run him down. But thankfully for JJ's case, he is too tanky. Now
extra plays from going down, but still, there's going to be a lot of pressure right here onto the turret. And actually, KL goes flying in. He might just get the solo here. What?
KL is on a mission to get as many kills for his squad as possible. And if he's going to be the sole benefactor of them, so be it. That is another one on the board for AL, and the tier 1 turret going over their way.
What did we say? You won't have as much gold on this Poppy as you would in a lane, so you're not going to be such a tank. It's not going to be such an issue that there's no AP damage available for IG. Well, if you get a ton
wants to say that was because of the lane swap meta being a thing, but not as much anymore. But anyone's legend getting so much off of the proactivity and the ruthlessness between KL and Tarzan, who have now IG's core pinned under this tier 1 turret on the bottom side of the map. Mako forced to pop the ultimate just to get the damage reduction to ignore all the damage that was coming from Shanks, but the rest of Anyone's Legend still pushing forward. Public execution right onto the boar rider. Mako falls. That's ground beef on the menu, boys. It's gonna be pork on the menu too.
Brack opened this gold lead up by about 3,000, picking up a Drake as well. Everything coming up AL at the moment, and it's off the back of some just lovely proactive plays out of KL and Hope, using their ultis, using all of the damage they have available between them. Hang on, picture in picture. Flandre.
Good keepers verted by KL. Punted Mako, it looks like. And Flandre's able to escape thanks to his support, and KO's out of there with his own flash. Tarzan now in the middle of multiple members. He doesn't have a flash available. Oh, he used it towards the south side. Hope has to keep him alive, but Shanks is able to find the reset first on the swordsman, and now it's just a disaster. You called it, Bloxer. IG thought that they might have sprung a trap, but it's Anyone's Legend that pull out the counter trap card and say, IG, you're the one that got sprung.
Yeah, Uno reverse right here out of AL, and they're going to be able to grab themselves even more off the back end of this team fight. Herald to AL, they are in complete control of this game, and this is what we were worried about a little bit by IG. If you're not able to get your composition, but the straight up all-in potential isn't necessarily there, Flandre getting jumped initially, and like you called out, KL was able to at least punt the cow away, buys enough time for Flandre to be able to survive this one, and once the rest of the cavalry comes charging in, it just doesn't feel like IG have enough damage between them to be able to do anything. Rookie even completely whiffed on that Fate Sealed, and you cannot afford to do that right here on the owner.
His favorite player, the Shy, try and pull out a miracle win, and just see him do disastrous things and just crash out and throw his chair aside. This might be another moment. I don't know if Casual's watching, but I hope on the map. KL might have found himself a couple IG members for an easy picking. Anyone's Legend is easily going to just trot on over. They're not even engaging at this point. They're just walking up and getting free kills.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I don't expect you to start the Atakan immediately, if you just catch the opposition jungler out wandering around in a place he has no business to be, then that's going to make it pretty easy to pick up. This is going to be a nice extra secure right here for AL. Just a little bit more towards their win.
Higher damage build with a lot of more lethality items in his pockets. IG have leeched the dragon. Anyone's Legend trying to take a posture around the other side of the pit. But now they're just going to brute force their way into the river. The Shy pokes for an accelerated shock blast, and if that's all the damage, then I don't feel hopeful about IG's chances. Rookie goes for the engage. 1,500. Jeja is able to secure the dragon, but at what cost? Public execution sets up another one to fall, and the rest of IG are just like dominoes as Shanks comes in and doesn't just tip them over. No, he blasts them down with a firing gunshot, and Gala is going to try to see if he can play a little sneaky game, but he sees a window. He's going to run for the hills, and thankfully for him, that Swirling Seed does not tag him for the slow.
Gonna be the only surviving member, but there was already a mid-wave pushing through for AL right here. They're also going to be able to jump Gala. I think he's going to get sandwiched right here. Hope potentially looking to go.
Hope is flanking him!
Yep, there it is.
Okay. You know what? He was trying to predict a shift there with that arrow.
Hey.
I know what you were looking for, Hope. You know, you're looking for a little style of points. So yeah, yep. It's all good. You guys are still 8,000 gold, but you know what? Desperate times call for desperate measures. Rookie is teleported in. He's going to look for a free picking on Navarus, maybe, but a flash of the blast cone. Does he get enough damage? Yes, he does. There's the soul unbound pop. Shanks now having to deal with the 1v2 on the Shy and Jeje. He stuns him up with the permafrost, but now the Shy is forced to run away, and he gets a flash, and he's able to escape. But now it's the Boar Rider who is left to die for Anyone's Legend. And
in a true way, and if you do allow this game to stall out long enough for IG to be able to get those item breakpoints, that is a real risk. They are in such control of this game that they should not allow for this to happen. You can see right here, they're just stepping up, taking space. The tier 2 tower does fall. Mako gonna go down as well, surely with the burn. Ooh, maybe just lives. Okay. It's not
thankfully, he's got a pretty powerful ultimate.
Wait, they get a kill.
Wait, KL died.
Hang on.
IG don't drop a single man in the siege. You know what? They lost Anyone's Legends composition when this was first drafted. Is that you don't have a real front alternate timelines that we could skew on in the multiverse of the LPL now. Teleport is coming in. Anyone's Legend thinking about ripping this Baron if not baiting IG in to face check the Baron, get a guaranteed numbers advantage off the pick, and then secure the objective. But they're ripping it right now, and the rest of IG, they know. But KL with the perfect keeper's verdict is able to punt away JJ, and that's the Baron gone. KL completely chunked out of the fight, but IG don't get a chance to look for another engage. Everyone from Anyone's Legend already backs out of the river and resets.
And as we said, this is going to be the key thing to be able to crack open the base right here for AL. They've got plenty of tower forwards, managed to get spotted out. Otherwise, he could well have found that public execution. Now it's just going to be the pressure right here onto the towers. Are IG going to try go in? Yes, they are.
Glacial Prison right onto the front. KL, keeper's verdict, stuns the ball up, and Tarzan with the Q flash forward. That's a mega lilting lullaby if I've ever seen one, and the rest of Anyone's Legend is ready to jump in on the slumber party. And the rest of them are going to just take the tier 2 tower. Rest of IG now down to Rookie and Gala. But I don't know if they're going to be strong enough to hold this defense against Anyone's Legend. There's a lot of chunked health bars. Gala and Rookie would have to perform a miracle. They're still a fate sealed.
Yeah.
All eyes on Rookie to find a miracle engage, to set himself up, to set up Gala. Mako is back.
You gotta go. You can't just wait.
Gotta go for it. Q flash. There's the fate seal, but they flash it. The Q3 only finds one, and Gala throws out one last true shot barrage for the game, as he's not gonna get a chance to play Ezreal again this series. Game 1 goes over to anyone.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
It's the Shy versus Genu. I'm not familiar with that top laner, but it was against the Gangplank. And hang on, back to live. JJ going for a very adventurous hit
for that team to grab them.
They're just constantly swapping.
Yeah, they're just back and forthing.
Yeah, they are really trying to help Flandra dodge the Cho'Gath matchup, or I think what they're more so doing is making sure that the Shy is not getting a free scaling or free laning phase pass.
Oh. He's alright, he's alright. I thought the Rookie was going to step a little bit too far forward, but still not going to be the best at being able to chunk through the tank, so you need to be careful to not let him get too far ahead. We're going to see Tarzan start up this Chemtech Drake. Not one of the highest priority Drakes, still going to be nice to grab, but it does mean that JJ is going to be able to set himself up around these grubs much quicker, and it is just going to be that 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, this is just solid adaptation from Anyone's Legend, just recognizing that they can't really play towards the grubs since IG have opted into sending Gala on this misfortune to the top side, which is where they're going to get a majority of that push and priority from, especially with Flandra being the one that answers into the waves. And I think in Anyone's Legend's case, there's not many champions on IG's side that takes or makes use of a lot of these grubs. Like, I guess, you know, Cho'Gath can split push, but like
very specifically, right? Giving over a ton. Very bad. Hang on, they might be going for a dive right here, RAO.
Killer Instinct already used. Mako is getting dove by the whole squad, but good use of the knockup by the Shy. Unfortunately, just not good enough. And now that Shanks has arrived to the party, they're letting the turret reset so they can start tanking up the turret aggro. Shanks drops it. Hope has got to drop it soon, and it's just clean from Anyone's Legend.
Yeah, really nice. Whilst that dive was happening bot lane, you can see all of the turret plates still available. TP coming in.
Flandra. Gala might be exposed here. Killer's Instinct early from Hope. Puts the pressure down. And now it comes down to, Gala, when are we going to use Flash? I guess. Maybe it was just too late at that point. For the second rotation. Only one item spike has been achieved for IG. It is the Rod of Ages. And to their credit, they were the first ones in the river. They secure 4 total for themselves, but here comes the Weaver's Wall. Does anyone get caught up in it?
Hang on.
Shanks is
Shanks,
in the
no!
front line. Oh, God! Turn off the camera. We had a little too much fun with Anyone's Legend, but Kale is flashing forward, trying to make the engage happen. Hope has to dive forward into a bullet time, but he flashes to the left, able to dodge the damage. Gala getting his rocked all the way forward, but Hope, can he put on a 1v2 performance? I don't think it's gonna happen, and yes, he gets silenced and shut down. IG making a big punish.
And they're going to be able to pick themselves up multiple kills in this fight. 3 kills and all 6 of the grubs. The main objective that they came for. And AL, that's just a straight up misplay. Neither of the top laners get involved. So it's all on the rest of the carries to make it happen, to get the engages going. I understand the idea from Shanks trying to cut some people off, but instead he just takes himself into the worst possible position, and I'm sure, knowing the LPL, we're going to get a nice sword. I mean, it's a good amount of push that Shanks has just been able to get for himself top lane, but you've got more members down in the bottom side with all of those grubs as well. The tower
with the majority of their squad. There is a control ward from Anyone's Legend in the pit, so they know that the Rift Herald has started up. But Tarzan is nowhere near. He is now just running over, but I think this is just the Rift Herald completely gone to IG, because you have Cho'Gath, who can feast on the objective and guarantee it for you.
This is why I was a little bit confused as to why Tarzan had headed down. Now they're going to look for the re-engage, though. They're going on to the Shy.
I mean, IG is kind of split at the moment. The Shy, oh no, the blast code is so bad for him. He's now in a world of hurt, but he's super tanky. Jet tries to bail him out. KL, the bullet time! Wall. It's such a great angle from Call, and now Anyone's Legend, they're on the back foot. They got to stand in front of Flandra or hope that he can so-called the damage coming through. That charge already used. Got a decent amount of work done on the Shanks at the back line, and the rest of Anyone's Legend feeling a little sheepish after not being able to get anything out of that play.
The play around at the moment.
Now, if Anyone's Legend, hang on. Uh-oh, Mako. He still has Flash. I don't know if he's going to get a chance to use it. He's walking to the wall, barely gets out alive. Anyone's Legend thought about following him, but remember, the objective is the dragon. You secured your rite of passage into this jungle quadrant. No one from IG should be able to contest, and that at least guarantees soul point for Anyone's Legend.
That is going to be the very important Drake.
We're going to see if he'll get a chance to do it topside now that Mako has no flash. And you know what? Hope immediately sees the angle. Killer Instinct right onto the top. But the bullet time is forcing them out of the choke. KL cannot escape the death cone. Flandra teleports in. So does the Shy. And just like that, we're back to a 4v. Shy almost has 4k HP. Flandra has yet to reach 3,000 HP.
He's a big boy.
He might not be big enough, though. They put all the damage onto him. Jet taking up the left turret shot. It's enough to take him out. And now the shot's coming from the rest of IG's front line. Oh, boy. Maybe not the best.
Have the opportunity to step up in that way. It's actually opened AL up to potentially step right here towards this Atakan. If they're able to grab this one, it'll be a great swing back into their advantage. AL showing why they are still one of our top teams. They do not just roll over. They are still fighting back into this one, but it's IG come through. Both teams going to set themselves up right now. Flandra does have its flank. Here he goes.
Oh, Flandra knocks up the big dinosaur, but the rest of IG turn on to Flandra, but the rest of Anyone's Legend now trying to force the backline out of the Dragon's Pit. Rookie losing his flash in the exchange. However, Flandra was not able to escape the claws of IG on the other side. Anyone's Legend trying to burn down this dragon as fast as possible. Still 3,000 HP left to go. KO throws his life, buys some time. It is secured. It's Mountain Soul, but now they're down a lot of numbers here on Anyone's Legend. If they can preserve as many members as possible, they will not pay the consequences, but the rest of IG do not want to let any stragglers go. They want to punish as hard as possible. The death charge looking for Shanks. Tarzan already falling, and the bullet time is going to get a lot of damage into Hope's back. Shanks could be next, but he's got that Seraph shield, and he's able to survive for now. IG picking up
for his team. AL, they haven't been able to really set up any deep vision once again around this fight. IG not going to be the same for them. Here they go.
Mako with a soft engage onto Tarzan. Now looking at Kale. Hope jumps into the Baron Pit with a Killer Instinct, trying to burst out Jet, eliminating at least one of the smites away from IG, and maybe this was just not a good fight. The flash from Tarzan to secure the win becomes lightning over the wall. Bullet time from Gala. Maybe it turns the fight, but it's just not enough damage to deal with the enormous front line that Anyone's Legend is packing, and here comes Flandra with the flash onto the Misfortune. The seismic shove from Shanks finds the Guns woman, and Anyone's Legend aces IG across the rift. No contest whatsoever. Anyone's Legend is taking this game in the bag.
Clean ace right here for AL. They do not want to go to a game number 3. They want this to be a clean 2-0. Straight onto the Baron they go. And a bad team fight for IG. IG in
most. And now the Elder Dragon has spawned. Hang on, wait a minute. There's still a chance for IG. If they get a numbers advantage guaranteed right here, the Elder Dragon is going to be really scary for Anyone's Legend now. 4v5, they have to push the gas, and the rest of Anyone's Legend, they have to make sure that they do not suffer any more casualties unnecessarily. The Shy taking up a bit of damage in the river here. Rupture finds Hope onto the backline, still has a flash. He's totally okay. Rookie ready to set up the death lasers from Fog. Looks for one in a Tarzan. Decent chunk. Bullet time. Snaps it back. I don't know how that happened, but Tarzan is eating a lot of damage for breakfast. The Crescent Guard finally ends, and now the jungler's gone home. Tries to send it. He looks for a couple kills. Can he find one more in the Chenja? Hope is cooking. Hope is firing. Hope is saving the game for anyone's legend. And now it's up to Shanks against 2 people, but Chenja, still a jungler, still has smite. Shanks, I don't know if he can pull a rabbit out of the hat on this one. It would be a miracle if he could deflect this, but KL has respawned on the rift. Maybe this could be anyone's legend saving the game. Shanks just has to get enough damage to threaten Jeje, but it's already 3,000 HP. KL's getting enraged. Set up the combo, the crash down, the seismic shove right into the heart of Rel, but the Elder Dragon is secure, but it's only on the Jeje. Can he find enough damage?
Can they get him?
I don't think he can! KL and Shanks will save the game for anyone's legend!
Keep being aggressive. This composition doesn't play well on the back foot. It needs to be going in. Here we go.
Separate fights going on right now in the jungle. Tarzan engaged on by Mako with the Weaver's Wall, forcing the Nautilus to flash over the wall so that he does not face certain death. The rest of anyone's legend holding position on the top side of the map, trying to gain wave control in the mid lane, taking up space in the top river right now. Anyone's legend still trying
that key positioning around the Baron right now. They're not going to be able to start it up at the moment. They also need to be careful to not have it stolen away. The Shy does have his ultimate up and available. Oh, there they go!
Where'd they come from? Jeje immediately forced to run away with the flash. Anyone's legend, they can take it slow unless they get a free pick on the Shy. Already isolated. Flandra ready to give his life. Bullet time. Tries to rip through them in the choke point, but the Shy still falls. He's become a fossil. And it could be that IG just do not have enough of a front line to stall for the rest of anyone's legend's reinforcements. The Weaver's Wall is going to leave little ground for IG to run through. Mako's the next one to fall. There's an Elder Dragon spawning in 30 seconds, but IG cannot wait to let that objective stall because anyone's legend is going to take this opportunity to burn the Baron now.
Yeah, you've got to go pick this up incredibly quickly, otherwise you're going to be giving over an Elder Drake to IG, something they cannot afford to do right now. They're going to be able to take this one down more than quickly. Right now, less than a minute left onto this Baron buff. And AL, they haven't even been able to crack a tower for it. They're just going to go straight for this objective. Mako, hello!
Flash forward! He's looking for someone else on the front line, but Shanks was not followed up by the rest of IG. Jeje sends it on the KL. A GA is popped. Flandra is taking up as much as he can, and he's doing a hell of a job. The bullet time achieves nothing. Literally nothing. Just a few scratches in the dead of anyone's legend's armor. The Weaver's Wall cuts off IG where they stand, and that's it. IG trying to hold the line as best as they can, but when you have shining hope in the name of the bot lane for anyone's legend, then anything is possible!
Everybody right there from AL steps up. It was a terrible early to mid game for them, but they stall this game out long enough. The Drakes are in their favor, and it takes them late enough into this game that the composition comes online, and it takes some miracle plays from